Morning, survivors. Welcome to the Apocalypse Post. I'm your host, Morning Raven, and...
It's starting to rain.
As a Duke of the Nuke, we're pretty accustomed to war times. But this whole fighting against a disease thing, man, I'm living. Love that. This is like my wasteland life right here. It's a Honda Accord with a V8 engine and four-wheel drive. What else do I need? Her name is Ansley, the HellBilly Honda. She's got a lot left to do. Or I've got a lot left to do. What's the temperature? Right at 60. It feels amazing up here. And the snow melting off the mountains, you can hear the stream. It's freaking raging down there. It's awesome. Okay, anyway. I love seeing other people's wasteland builds, but my favorite part about my wasteland build is that I get to see it change and transform. So from the beginning, it was just a stock black Honda Accord. If I were going to tell you how close to being done with the overall project I am, I'm probably like 20, maybe 30% done. I've only barely started as far as I'm concerned. But some of you may have seen the Honda Accord while it was just a Honda Accord, and that's where this story's gonna start. When I went to Wasteland Weekend my first year, I became a Duke. One of the things about the Dukes back then, this is like 3 Wastelands ago, they didn't have any vehicles back then. I was trying to think of a way to contribute to my tribe, and it dawned on me, this tribe is like one of the coolest groups of people, like one of the coolest tribes. Like, I love my tribe so much. They're a great group of cats, and we don't have a vehicle to show them off with. Like, we don't have a way to show them off, like drive around and show off how cool they, like these awesome people that I know. So I was like, well, we don't have a vehicle. That's the thing I can try and contribute. For a few months, I was trying to get a car, really anything. I didn't really care. I was just trying to get something that would be like reliable, that I could drive really long distances, because I love doing road trips. And so that's how I ended up with a Honda Accord. I think the first thing I did was replacing the hood. I think it was like the same week. I also removed the bumpers. Oh! Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah! That's the inside of my Honda. Styrofoam? Styrofoam looks like garbage. Looks like it's gotta go. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think people would enjoy that maybe more. Like what my thought process is. And somewhere around that time, I also removed the back seat and built a bed. Yeah. I gave it a new paint job over at a good friend's house. That was a really cool, unique project that I had never done anything like it before. And you have to remember, like, from the start, like, I wasn't a car person when I got this car. I, like, knew how to take the basic maintenance of taking care of a car, and that was it. I know sometimes life gets you down, Dan, but guess what? You still got a friend in me. Shut your mouth. So the first road trip / event I went on with this vehicle, it was pretty cheap, and I had gotten everything tuned up, and so the engine was running like in peak condition. It's a manual, and its first road trip was to Scorched Earth. And so a few days before Scorched Earth, I put the first Dukes of the Nukes decals on it. I don't know what it is about decals, but I always procrastinate doing decals. I think I just always procrastinate doing details, really, is probably what it comes down to. But anyway, so I did them like the day before I left. All I did was a big, huge Dukes of the Nuke decal on the hood. It's not on like the current hood, because like I said, this thing's only 20% done. The current hood is still a Suburban hood. Soon I'll have the Honda Accord hood back on here, and then you'll see it again. But it's a big, huge Dukes of the Nuke insignia. Looks fucking mean. Yeah, went to my first event like that. I strapped on some deer antlers, because I felt like I didn't really have anything for a bumper for that car. Eventually, I kind of fell in love with that look, but at the time, I wanted to have those antlers on there, and I loved having the antlers on there. It was really cool having a skull on the front. Then I moved to Idaho, North Idaho, and became, I've always been a little bit hillbilly, but I became full-blown hillbilly out here. I live out in the hills. It's a wreck. I love it. I don't know how to describe to you how amazing it is to live in the wilderness, but it is. It's amazing. So when I got out here, I was very busy, and I had very little time to spend on it. But I did get a handful of things done before my second Wasteland. Built / put on a really shitty roof rack. But it was good enough. It got me to Wasteland. Wasteland was cool. At Wasteland is when I put on the door decals, because I procrastinate the details a lot. And my car was in theme, but not like... it wasn't like satisfactorily in theme. Had a bunch of fun though, did some fun car cruising with it, and just fell in love with driving around in my own car at Wasteland. Like it's one of the coolest feelings in the world. And I was determined, next year I'm going to be in the car show. Third year, I painted the rims, added a bunch to the roof rack in order to keep my sunlight, my sky window, my roof window, whatever it's called, in order to keep that safe when people are climbing in and out of it. And a new bumper. I changed up the bumper a little bit. Nothing super special, but it was still, like, I love it. In the back bumper, too, I almost forgot. Took that. This year it looked a lot more mean, looked a lot more aggressive, and a lot more the way I wanted it to. A lot more Wasteland than the first year. And I got to be in the opening ceremony parade. The Dukes of the Nuke kind of got split up because I had a flat tire during the parade. I have 2 tires I need to replace. One of them has a nail in it, and the other one looks like this. Yeah, all the way down to the wire, through 1 layer of wire. But to be fair, still running, so that's cool. Yeah, also got to be in like the big show drive thing, and went to Blackstone. I got to do a lot of the car things because I was finally proud of my car and really proud of how Mad Max it looked. And then this year, I hadn't done much since Wasteland. It's like a month or 2 after Wasteland when I realized I could get this Suburban to put it on. It kind of looks a lot like a Hot Wheels car or something. So, which is a good thing, because it's crazy and Mad Max, and that's what we're going for. So, looks nuts, and I'm glad. That's perfect. And so, during the month of December, it's a convertible Suburban! A Suburban! From like November 25th or something, I don't remember what it was. Yeah, November 25th. I had 1 month, which is November 25th to December 25th, to get this Honda Accord put up onto this Suburban before I moved again. So, hammered it out, barely got it done. I mean, I was 2 days late, I think, but we got the 2 merged, and it was a blast, and it was a totally cool experience to learn. I learned a lot from doing that, and now I have, at that new job that I went to, I got a lot more welding experience, so now coming back, finishing up, I've got, tons of gaps I still need to finish up, and some of the welds I need to redo, and yeah, get this thing really on point. So yeah, that's where it is right now. It's got a ton more work to do before the next Wasteland.
It looks so much better out of the shop.
where do I park?
You got some holes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I love, you know, taking the most vanilla car of all time, a Honda Accord, and turning it into a badass freaking monster, you know. Let's roll, motherfuckers! That was a good idea until I did it. People love this thing. I love the reactions I get from people. People pull me, this is my daily driver, by the way, and people pull me over all the time for photos. I've only had the cops pull me over twice, and that was just because my headlights, or my rear lights are out. So that right over there, you can just barely make out the hill that I actually live on. That's the hill I live on. I'm on the top, but not within our view. Little cabin. And then right up there in the crook between those two is where we were just driving around. Look at all this garbage. What the heck? How can people even live with themselves? I don't understand. Like, how can you be that? I hate it.